Alrighty then. Okay, right. We're back. I'm gonna make it a quick one. There's bits and bobs to do. Um, I know the month has passed. Flew by, didn't it, January? Yeah. So, happy New Year to you all, anyway, and those who are still transitioning through, based on your time of the year, your time of the year. Okay, it is a bit of a. I would use the. Bugger it. Bit of a shit show at the moment, isn't it? Going on at the moment. If it's not one thing over in the east side of things, it's going on over the west and going on here. So we've got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I don't know, Mark, a little bit of the other. Right. When it comes down to start from here, I'm just going to say the same thing as I said before. Is that when it comes down to the spring budget, it's an opportunity for you to take into consideration things that have been said already. When it comes down to Chancellor, number 10, Parliament, government, because economies are, or the economy, should we say, and businesses, and is actually suffering a bit. Whereas excessive in national insurances causing slowdown in recruitment, which affects unemployment. It also affects the development of new businesses. It does, and then various other taxes causes a slowdown in sales or otherwise purchases and so on and so forth. Yeah, I'm aware there's other trade coming in, but you're doing exactly what I said you was going to do. You're trying to offset with one with the other, but increasing stuff at the same time. And eventually, you are, well, it's not even eventually, you are actually creating a bubble. Bank of England is trying to keep their interest rates stable to try and offset the impact that's being created by the government. The government swears blind that it's doing good when it's not. Yeah. See, that's the thing with information, isn't it? Numbers don't lie, people's do. People do. However, you can manipulate numbers to tell a different story. I know all about it. I've seen it before. Never done it, but seen it many times before and had to resolve the problem that comes thereafter. Right? When it comes down to American side of things, now hopefully that the Republicans, as well as the Democrats, as well as the Department for Justice, the FBI, the CIA, and whoever else the departments are. I know ICE are not particularly bothered. They've got their instructions and the type of individuals. There are the personalities with the immunities that they've been given. So anonymity and immunity that they've been given. I don't care. It satisfies that side of them, doesn't it? You know. But people are beginning to wake up to it. As the idea is that there are a lot of people involved in with this Epstein side of things. And there is. And even when it comes down to it all, you can see, when I start looking at it, I'm not digging too far into it. It's not a nice thing. I'm just not. There's enough people banging the drum about it. But when I look at it, I don't look at it. I just listen. I listen for the clicking of the dominoes. Mm, all those who are assembling around Trump, this is the weird thing. Well, it's not even the weird thing, it's the interesting thing that people are missing. And if they're not missing it, they're keeping it quiet. Right? Those who have assembled themselves around Trump are those who are the ones that have been involved in Epstein files. Okay? Yes, including Faraday, for as much as he would actually say no. Yes, his name was mentioned and there was no mention of him being present, but there are images circulating of him actually knowing Jeffrey Epstein. So wait up however you would like. As far as I'm concerned, after running tests on the images, apparently they seem to be true to their form. There's no anomalies or unfamiliar artifacts that surround. In other words, the picture seamlessly blends itself together. And it's all of the pixelation and all that type of stuff is real. I've had a look, believe you me, I've been looking. And that will explain why the name was mentioned. Because it's familiarity, isn't it? It's listening to the clicking, how things piece together, cross over, yeah, and move around. Yeah, conversations people are having with each other, the whys and what fors. Yeah, it's all there. So it is a case of being careful with it all. Now, thankfully, those who were prolific in it and have created, yes, a great deal of distrust within the political realms of things, of where self-interest has been a great deal, matters a great deal to those individuals, especially those who say, oh, they've got their constituents' thoughts in mind, and then they move around. No, they're just getting out of the way, the reputational side of things. They know the reputation and the political party is dying, so a case of they jump to one that may get them back in power again. Thing about reputation, isn't there? When you start moving around, it stains you a bit, but then that stain, like with a good wash powder, it kind of gets rid of it for all after time. It gets rid of it. But when you're a part of the devastation or the impact of a negative result, that stains a bit. Stains a bit more. It takes a lot more to kind of get rid of it than it does. Hence the reason why people move around. They jump before they're pushed. Uh, so, lots of things going on. See, it's not just about watching, it's about listening as well. And that's the most important part of it all is listening to what people are saying. And they give away a lot. A lot of people give away a great deal. Like for instance, when you listen to the whole stories around the Epstein side of things, the whole saga, this whole saga that surrounds that. What did I put down here? I noted down for myself. Now, a fantasy island. It's a toss up between the Roman bathhouses and the whole pleasure thing of Pompeii. Do you remember the whole story surrounding those? Right? And it effectively is where they swap secrets, trading up. How do each person get up the ladder, getting more support for each other? It's the old. We did this back in between 2009 and around about 2012, 2015, thereabouts. I think it's probably more 2012 when we started looking at the things like the Freemasons, the cross skulls, and all that type of stuff, crossbones, sorry, not cross skulls, crossbones, cross keys, and it was the 922, all that type of stuff. It was all them secular groups, Baphomet, and all that. You've got things like the Mile High Club and all that type of stuff. Yeah, so that is basically what was going for me. Listening to this whole thing, what's going on, listening to it and looking at what was going on, that's what it reminds me of. And unfortunately, because an individual was caught out and the lid was about to pop, ooh, we can't have that. This is the conspiracy theorists' dream. Do you know what I mean? All the years they're banging a drum about these secular groups, these cults and all, then all of a sudden the reality surfaces that there is certain facts and evidence there that surrounds a particular one. And it's like, oh. And then the repeat holders are involved in it are quickly trying to shut it down. Hope you conspiracy theorists are watching this because it's making me chuckle my tits off. I'm not all into the conspiracy side of things, but knowing what I know about how things work and whatnot, I'm chuckling me tits here. I really am. I'm just tickle me. It tickles. But still, that's across there. And then when Trump moves on, there may be a sense of rebalancing across the board, across the global the global stage. Things may rebalance themselves out again because I'm pretty certain that certain promises were actually made. They didn't have to be particularly spoken, they didn't have to be particularly written. It was just suggestion. Powers of suggestion and all that. Implied notions, actions and reactions. It's like playing chess without ever actually saying, oh, how chess is played. Nothing is ever really ever said, but you understand how things are working. Yeah, yeah, that type thing. So unfortunately, I say, if I was all saying it, when maybe Mr. Trump has moved on, maybe there will be a rebalancing of it all. I said what I said about the wars going across the Central Europe, Europe, Eurasia, that area, um, for a reason. Because Mr. Blair was always in the background, typing away, wanting to get involved in sorting out something that he can add to his legacy, shall we say. I really don't care what people do in terms of their legacy as long as it doesn't have a negative impact on those around them. If it has a positive impact, then all good, all for the better. But hence the reason why he quick sharp heart for the US. And they did, along with Manson. So all the familiar faces once again surfaced and then straight across. Amazing, isn't it? Actually, you don't always have to use your eyes to see. Listen, listen to what's going on, and you'll soon hear it, where it's going. Hear the movement of things. I say it's good because it allows you to read, but the point is, you've got other senses. I said, just leave that to them now and leave Ukraine to Europe, Europe and UK, Europe as a whole. Because at least then it helps to avoid any further accusations, underlying stresses and strains, making things worse. But then the onus is placed on Europe a bit more now to pull your fingers out of your liberal, soft-powered rear ends. There it is. Now, I've never prescribed to it. Don't really prescribe to hard power either. I blend in and move from one to the other as and when I see fit. So yeah, pulling your fingers out of your rear ends and actually making a decision about what are you actually going to do. And how you're actually going to do it. I already know there's the threats are already coming through. And I've already started to try and work out a plan for myself for health, for my health, and building that back up again to actually get myself ready for the call if needs be. Well, hey, that's the world we live in today. You've got our politicians and our economists to thank for that. Or our business people to thank for it. Hence the reason why I was saying before about these books I've been reading, and I don't really like, it doesn't resonate with me because when I actually read them and when I actually listen to them and I apply them to the real world, and when I say apply them, I mean the sandbox kind of approach, as I said to you before, about building three-dimensional environment within my imagination, throw the information in, and then apply it to a real-time scenarios of what's going on. And you can see what's actually going on across the field, who's employing what tactics, and so on and so forth. suppose Sun Tzu plays a part in all of that as well. But still, it's all there. So crack on with it. Get it done. So I've already said what I need to say, haven't I? I've just repeated myself. Now, as I've said to somebody in the past, I don't mind repeating myself as long as it's not falling on deaf ears. If it starts falling on deaf ears and being blatantly ignored, then yes, I have a problem with repeating myself because it's just wasting my time. Not is it wasting my time, ultimately it's wasting yours as well. So, with financial things, the more immediate side of things, financially for the economics, I would suggest the Chancellor and the Prime Minister pull their fingers out of their rear ends and start working this law down. At the end of it all, we are where we are because of these mindsets that are currently in place. That is that simple, or it is that simple. Yeah. I'm new to all of this. That's why it's worked so well for me. You know, because I'm new to it. I'm authentic. I'm over the ground level. I'm making my way up. You know, I'm not interested in power and whatnot. Yes, I will lead. I'm quite happy to lead, or manage, or whatever. But power, control, and whatnot, the least of my worries. So I'll explore the two unless something comes forward, voluntarily comes forward. Right? Then we'll take it forward from that. Right. But based on other promises to finish this off, it's safe to say now I am back where I was around about 2009. I'm still ahead, but people are now catching up with me. Speculatively speaking, it's taken 24 years for people to catch up. From 2009, it's taken 17 years. So between 17 and 24 years for people to catch up with me. I put the information out there. It's bled through. Like I said, it's not about numbers or recognition or anything like that, or power, control, money, and it's about making sure things work. Yeah? Make sure things grow and develop. Keep moving forward. Yeah? Go through the rough and the smooth. Yeah? So back up to speed now. Now what I'm trying to do is redevelop it all. The innovation works. I just need to custom make some parts for it to bring it back up and make it a bit more stable than what it was beforehand. But it was working beforehand. It is working again now. It sustains itself, therefore with the ability to do what I'm designing it to do. However, within that time people have been catching up, I've also evolved the design as well. And people catching up is all part and parcel. Yes. It's part of the requirement for to make all of this work. People to catch up. So far, so good. Yes, we are getting there. Or rather, I'm getting there, but you and your side of things, depending on who's watching, you're getting there. This is probably the best way to put it. For those who are genuinely seated and or grounded, should I say, and wanting to try and make things work for the betterment of all, well done. Keep up the effort. It will eventually pay off. Right? When it comes down to the business side of things, the name may change because I know it's a little bit ominous. As a derivative of the Black Crown, the theology, I say the theology, but it's more about mythology than it is about anything, a theology type thing. It may change its name. The name that it will change to is already embedded in the site. So you're not unfamiliar with it. Let's put it that way. So keep an eye out. I'm not committing to anything just yet. I'm still thinking about it. That's why I'm being a little bit cryptic about it. I'm just giving a little something away. Right? Yeah. So there you go. Right. Like I said, I'm only just dropping in just to say hi. And then I'll be back again soon when I've got something a bit more because At the moment, I would literally be repeating myself, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. What I'm saying is I would be repeating myself. I'm just be saying the same thing as I did before. So hopefully, eventually, it will eventually bleed through, and that will trigger off a new change, right? A new set of input, perspectives. Keep an eye out on Flipboard as well. I also see some specific stuff that I comment on. So keep an eye out on Flipboard. Look for Shadow Crown on Flipboard. You'll see I make specific comments on there. I am still contemplating about the move over to a different social platform. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. There you go. Well, if I was to leave you with a thought, there's a lot of things that have been said about New Year's resolutions. And the one big one at the moment is about giving up smoking. I have still normal chewing gum now, not Nicorette chewing gum. I gave up 4 years ago. Well, it's more than 4 years, nearly 5 years now. It is. Offer you a little insight, as I mentioned to somebody before, because sometimes it gets a little bit mixed up, lost in translation about change. You don't need willpower to give up. Seriously, you don't need willpower to give up, right? What you need is a reason, right? What you need is a reason, not willpower, a reason, right? Don't use the basic one that everybody uses, and that's money. That should only really add value to it, add strength to it. So it's money would be a force amplifier. Right? Think of something, the reason why. Does it serve a purpose anymore? Is it harming those around you? Are there demonstrable signs that it's actually harming you? Right? Find a reason. Money is a force amplifier, right? Better health is a force amplifier. It's a reason, but it's a force amplifier. Right? You need to find out a reason why you need to. I mean, personally, it's no longer needed. It's not required. There was a reason why I smoked to begin with, which I'm not going to go into. But knowing why I started helped me with the reason why I stopped, right? Or helped me towards why I should stop. Right? Once you found your reason, don't necessarily set dates or times and whatnot, because most people will not stick to a time and a day. It's too flexible. In understanding that, be flexible. As soon as you feel ready, get you in the meantime, whilst you're building up the reason why, go out and find yourself the coping mechanisms, the substitute, the healthier option, to actually pull yourself off. Once you've done that, found your reason, found your substitute to support you whilst you're off, then just slide into it. There's no point actually realistically, or no point really putting a date on it. You could say, yeah, maybe Monday, whatever. Try a date. I would probably try it. Me personally, I just decided, right, everything's in place. Let's do it now. There was no date in mind. Everything was ready. Yeah, there was no date. It was just ready. Move forward. Once you've done that, then willpower comes. That is when willpower is required. Willpower is not needed to stop, but is needed to maintain the decision. Yeah, there you go. A little bit of a freebie to go out there to help you. A reason, planning and preparation, and then maintain. And then you willpower to maintain that decision. Yeah. Right. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be back again soon. Good luck to you all.